When you're passionate about something, it's difficult not to talk about it. According to Capt Jeff Hill's wife, hunting was one of his passions, as seen here when he was invited on a TV show called Hunting the Country.
You know, in the military aviation and all the things that I've learned has really paid off in the woods and being able to be cool, calm, and collective out there, and especially when you have that buck of a lifetime come and walk underneath your stand.
Even while doing something he loved as much as hunting, he couldn't help but talk about another great passion of his.
I love just the sense of pride I have walking down the street in my uniform and saying that I helped defend the country.
Rachael Hill says from the start of Jeff's Air Force career, he has always set his sights on the sky.
And he came home one day and he said, "I want to fly C-17s. That's it." That's all he wanted to do. So yeah, he loved it.
After nearly a decade of service in the military, Hill began flying C-17s out of Air Force Base Elmendorf, traveling across the world to deliver troops where they're needed and bring them crucial supplies.
One time he said one of the hardest things that he ever did was he picked up, I think it was the Army Guard or Army Reserves in Wisconsin, and flew them into Afghanistan and dropped them off. And he said it was the hardest thing watching all these 19-year-old kids get off his plane and dropping them off and leaving them in, one of the worst places he'd ever seen.
Despite the dangerous missions, Rachael says she never feared for his life, and together they lived life to the fullest.
You hear about things happening, but it's never going to happen to you, And a C-17 had never crashed. So I never thought twice about it.
But all that changed just days before the much-anticipated 2010 Arctic Thunder Air Show. Hill's husband was co-piloting a practice flight in a C-17 when it went down. Hill, along with 3 others, were killed in that crash. An investigation determined the accident was caused when the enormous military transport aircraft stalled at low altitude, and the pilots did not respond correctly.
Within 10 minutes, I had 5 people at my house, and my boys were with friends, and they were taken care of, which was good. Because what do you tell them, especially when you don't know anything?
The support Hill received then, and the support she is still receiving today, is something she says her husband helped build.
And what I think is pretty cool is, even now, after he's gone, almost 3 years, I feel like he still finds a way to make sure that we're taken care of by surrounding us with that support system.
But support doesn't end with the Hill family.
We started a scholarship fund in his name that goes to ROTC cadets at UAA, and it's huge. It gives me an opportunity to share his life and his legacy and help these other kids along their journey too.
Rachael says while losing her husband has been the most difficult challenge in her life, she's learned the best way to cope is by talking about him, the person she cared about the most.
He just had this, like I said, this personality that would light up a room, and you didn't have to be with him very long to feel like you had been best friends for years.
And a man who will live on through those memories, as will others who have sacrificed their life in the line of duty.